Gaels about to take on Toronto Varsity Blues. Keys to this game for the Toronto Varsity Blues is going to be threefold. They got against Cider going on early in wins this year. She's got a .220 hit percentage, whereas only 0.49 in the losses. As well, Toronto typically relies on the bench, but when they beat Queens just a couple of weeks ago, their bench was very important. As well, Toronto's had some problems on the road this year. For the Gaels, it's going to be about minimizing service errors. That was one of their big problems in the game earlier on. As well, the defense of the Queens is going to have to be nice and big, and they're going to have to get Ogilvie open for some big hits. A lot of the Gaels' offense goes through her. Jazzy sets Ogilvie. Not handled well by Toronto. They're just going to tip it over. But Jazzy going to set Ogilvie again. Goes heavy off the block. Toronto's going to get to play it. This time they go wide. And it's punched over by Haggerty. Quick in the middle. Blocked by Katie Neville. And Neville will serve her own block for the Gaels.
Great start to the match for the Gaels there. Getting Ogilvie involved and then having a great stuff by Neville. Really good one-on-blocker for 4 years here at Queens, and showed there on the first set of the point to get match.
Queens gets that point as well. They're taking an early 2-0 lead. Neville taking her time to serve, goes with the float serve. Pops it up. And it's going to be a back row attack. Ogilvie now just sends it up. And she's just going to hammer it over into the block. That was Sider getting her hands up.
One of the big things that Queens have been working on this week has been on delaying their block. Toronto likes to set a nice high ball out to the outside off the net. Queens is usually caught on their way down. And you can see on that play, the blockers are up over top the net and come back down before the ball is hit, causing a defensive error.
Queens can't handle that serve from Sider. And Sider's making her impact early on in the game. Ogilvie with the pass, but Jazzy quick in the middle. But that was met by a Toronto block. Katie Haggerty couldn't pop it up afterwards.
Toronto had a bunch block there. Queens left-hand side helped in the middle, so even though it was a quick middle, they actually had 2 blockers on there, and that managed to make it so Katie Haggerty had nowhere to go.
Jazzy with the dump.
And I was a little bit concerned with Jolie Christian this week, was when the Queen setters in 2 there versus Ryerson last week. They've given up runs of 4 or 5 points with the setter in 2 and trying to find ways to score. And so it's really good to see they're able to get that rotation early.
But Jazzy puts that one into the net though. It'll be Sarah chopping to serve for Toronto. Ogilvie takes a serve. Jazzy sets Bishop. But that's met by a Toronto block. Now it's going to be Ogilvie tipping it over. Found the space in front of Chapman. And we're all tied up at 4 here. Early on in the first set. OUA quarterfinals between the number 4 Queens Gaels and the number 5 Toronto Varsity Blues. Ogilvie to serve. She puts that one into the net. Queens has been given some free points to the Blues early on.
And that's going to be something that also is going to be key tonight, is making sure they own those back-to-back service errors. Those can quickly accumulate. And a playoff match where every point being battled for to give up those easy points, it's not going to allow you to be on the positive side.
The attack from Shannon Ross in the middle goes off of Katie Haggerty's hands. Queens couldn't pop it up. And it'll be Nielsen to serve. Ogilvie sends it up to Bajazzi. Sets Brett Haggerty. And the Blues can't handle that one as it went off Sider's hands into the stands. And despite making a lot of little errors early, the Gaels are only 1 point down. As Haggerty to serve. Not a great pass there, but the Blues are going to be able to send it over. Bajazzi quick in the middle to Neville. Cross-court shot. Neville in the middle again. Popped up by Nielsen. And Pajazzi's going to set it out wide to Haggerty, who just rolls it. And that one goes right in front of Nielsen, who was diving to get to it, but couldn't quite reach it.
And that's a great couple of first swings by Brett Haggerty there. She's got the setter who's about a couple inches shorter than her, and the first one she went over top, and that one just went over top her hands, and we weren't expecting that roll shot and able to get to the pot.
Bajazzi sets Haggerty again. Lots of power on that one, but Sider does well to pop it up. Now she's gonna do a back row tip. Queens reads it well. Now it's gonna be Bishop just sending it lightly over, but the Blues send it back. Ogilvie with a nice pass. Gonna be Bishop again. She goes into the block. Ogilvie puts it up. Now it's gonna be Haggerty. Ogilvie, great on defense here off these blocks. Now a little tip in the middle. Bishop pops it up. Ogilvie now setting Brett Haggerty. Mistimed that one and put it into the net. Very good defensive effort there by Ogilvie, chasing down 3 or 4 loose balls in that rally. Denise Wooding now to serve, the second-year player at the North Vancouver. Goes for Brett Haggerty. Pajazzi quick in the middle to level, but that's met by a Toronto block. Shannon Rossel getting her hands on that ball.
Yeah, Rossel did very good hands getting her hand the ball. The ball was set tight to the net. Rossel got her hands on the ball, and there really wasn't any place for Katie Neville to go with that ball.
Ogilvie with the pass. Pajazzi now sets Bishop. Just finds space through the block, and Wooding couldn't control it. And it'll now be Bishop to serve for the Gaels. Goes right down the line. Sider gets the hit, but it's popped up by the Gaels. Now it's going to be Haggerty. Thought she painted the line, but it's called out. Wasn't by much, though.
Yep, and that's going to be one thing that they focused on practice this week, was making sure they're swinging every ball. The ball's a little bit off net, but Brett went for it, just missed it by a sec, but she has to keep on taking those chances.
Shannon Rossel, the 5th-year middle blocker to serve. Gets the ace. She served from way back there. The ball hit the tape and just went straight down. Can't do much on any of those serves. And that causes the Gaels to call a timeout.
And that's a really tough ball to pass. Shannon Ross is basically sitting back at the very back of the court and hitting a float serve. Maybe she's a little bit closer, if that ball catches the tape, it might not go over, but just so far back, hitting it so hard, you just roll over the tape, and you have really no time to react or move when you're sitting back there and serve receive.
Gaels not quite getting the start they want, trailing 10-7 right now in the first set, but all season long, Toronto's been a pretty good starter on the road. They've won a lot of first sets, have trouble closing out the second set sometimes, but Toronto definitely starting off well tonight.
Yeah, and they do have experience. They've been in this situation before. Last year, they hit Mac at Mac in a crossover game in the first round. They managed to take Mac out in 3 straight. So they've been in this situation before, and they know what it's like to play in enemy territory here at the Arc. They have a good contingent of Toronto fans here tonight, almost to make it a home game. And UT, led by their coach Christine Jacobs, she has them calm and relaxed, and it shows in the score, being 11-7 for Toronto so far.
Toronto got that point as well, so it'll be Shannon Rossel to serve again. Another float serve from way back there, but that one goes long. Wilson does well to let that one go. Probably a little bit nervous today, the first-year player, first OUA playoff game, but getting the nod for the Gaels. That cross-court attack from Sider popped up, but the Gaels couldn't get under it.
It seems UT's really attacking the 4-5 position of Queens, and what's happening right now is the Queens defenders are square to net rather than square to hitter. And so that's why you're seeing so many balls go off their hands and out of bounds. You gotta look to find that hitter, be square to it, and then be able to dig that ball up. So they're too square to the net right now, and so they have to reach. When they reach, the ball's not within their body and it's going out of bounds. So they really have to get square. And once again, the blockers have to delay, wait and go up. Sets off the net. If they're up early and the ball's just going over the top, it gives them Toronto here's more hitting angles.
Bad pass by the Blues, but they're going to send the free ball over. Neville with the pass. Pajazzi now sets Ogilvy again. And that's 2 points in a row for Ogilvy.
If you notice, Pajazzi's just speeding up the set just a little bit quicker so the outside blocker can't get it up there and set. And once again, Ogilvy with her reach of over 3 is just going over top the block, off the fingertips, so if it even isn't dogged by the digger, they're at least going to get a touch out of bounds.
Quick in the middle for Toronto. Catches the Gaels. So Toronto leads by 3. Charlotte Sider goes back to serve. Back row attack from Bishop. Somehow wills that ball over the net. Bishop just flinched under that ball. And it goes out of bounds.
It's pretty apparent that UT is attacking the serve receive of Colleen Ogilvy. What they're hoping is that she's not able to pass it there. And they force Jolie Christian McFarland to go to her bench and get Colleen off the court. She's done a pretty good job passing so far.
Chapman's going to get to serve her own point. Wilson's pass a little bit over. And Shannon Russell sends it right back down at the Gaels. Ogilvy with the pass, Pajazzi setting Bishop. A little miscommunication there, so Bishop just rolls it over. The middle attack, met by Queens, and Ogilvy now finds the line. Shannon Neville's coming in to serve for Ogilvy.
This would be a serve defense substitution right here. Shannon Neville a little bit better with her serve and a little bit better passing ball and on defense.
Nice float serve deep. Wooding now hits it out. Katrina Russell didn't handle that serve too well. Kind of put the varsity Blues on the back foot, but so it'll be Shannon Neville to serve again. Targets Wooding this time. Gaels pop it up, and it's going to be Bishop just volleying it over. Sider pops it up. Just a little roll shot there from Wooding. Now it's Pajazzi quick in the middle to Katie Haggerty. Going to be Wooding again. Neville pops it up. Pajazzi setting Brett Haggerty. Goes off the block. Popped up. Wilson now setting Haggerty again. Just kind of went off speed to get it off the block. Now Bishop this time goes off of Wooding's hands and gets the point for the Gaels.
It was actually a pretty good play by Brett Haggerty on that second one. She wasn't actually looking for the big hit. She was looking for just to get some hands. The Gaels doing an excellent job on defense off the attack. She was looking for hands, something, you know, they get the ball back. And what happened is she went high off hands, ball came back on their side, and they were able to reset their offense, get a great kill from Bishop, and now Queens is only down 15-14 and forced Christine Jenkins to take a timeout before a 16-point break.
Yeah, definitely some great vision there. And the Gaels have started to turn it around recently.
And if you look at UT's offense, this came from the middle so far. Both middles have 3 kills apiece out of their 7 total kills. And they're doing a great job. And so what's happened this little run is actually Queens served a little bit tougher, and UT hasn't been able to run that middle, and then what they're getting is they're either getting a free down ball or digging up the ball off attack. So they have to keep on serving tough here, taking that middle out play, taking Russell and Chapman.
Shannon Neville continuing to serve for the Gaels. Looks deep, but that one goes long.
That takes us to the first set technical timeout. Toronto leading Queens 16-14.
Back-to-back timeouts, probably getting rid of any momentum either of the two teams had, but Toronto will take that as Queens is coming back a little bit recently.
Yeah, the UT's doing a very good job right here managing their offense. Like I said, they've got established their middles, and that's only going to bode well later on in the match for Sider and Nielsen. They're going to start getting seams in the block. For Queens right now, a lot of the middle sets are tight in the net, and what's happening is they're so tight in the net, the UT blockers are getting hands on them. They got to keep off the net and make sure they are able to have that angle 1 to 5 to get. They've established Ogilvy and Bishop really well, and they have to keep on going out there. There's the 2 big touchers attack-wise, and they're going to be able to go off the hands, and out of bounds, be able to score those points which Queens needs.
Queens has had a pretty balanced attack so far today. 5 different players reporting kills so far. It's probably going to need to continue to keep the Blues defense on it. It's Jennifer Nielsen to serve now for the Blues. Taken by Wilson, not the greatest pass. But Jazzy puts it up, and it's going to be Haggerty. Did a good job of getting the hit off there, even though there wasn't much going with it. The other Haggerty gets a block now. It's going to be Nielsen again with a back row attack. Pajazzi pops it up. Bishop is going to bump it, and Pajazzi's just going to bump it over. Nielsen now. And the set, Wooding. Wilson pops it up. Haggerty sets Haggerty.
And that's, once again, that's the 3rd time now that Brett's did a great job of finding the setter's hands, going off the setter's hands, or that seam and block between the setter, because there's a huge difference out there between Rosso and Belhumer. And what you do, just find that seam, that low reach, and be able to take that ball off the hands and out of bounds.
Haggerty with the serve. Rossell passes it up. Belhumer sets, but it's met by a Queens block. That was Bishop and Neville up there.
Great timing, great timing. They're talking about delay out there. Wait on that block, and that time they did get a tie game 16-16 after that early deficit by the Gaels.
Haggerty to serve again. Target Sider. Belhumer set Hudson again. Pajazzi's going to set Head.
And you can just, once again, on the center there, Brett Haggerty found that seam and was able to put that ball down right in between where they can't return it.
She has improved immensely this year. For sure, giving the Gaels a very good attacking option from there. It's going to be Shannon Neville sending the ball over. Rossell sending it up to Belhumer. And a little step around there by Shannon Rossell. It's good for the Blues point, but
Okay, Neville's just got to make a little bit more play to get over there. That's her hitter in the middle, and she left Brett Haggerty out there one-on-one. What happened was one-on-one, Ross was able to go over top and get a great hitting angle to one.
Alexandra Hudson gets the ace for the Blues there. Just a little bit of miscommunication on the Gaels' part. Hudson goes with another float serve. And it's going to be Shannon Neville sending it over. Nielsen puts it up to Belhumer. Little step around. Brett Haggerty does well to pop that one up off the block. And now she's going to get a chance to attack. Hudson pops it up. Rossell pops it up. And now Nielsen's just going to send it over. Pajazzi sets Brett Haggerty again. Just a roll shot. Nielsen gets the hand on it though. Sider now. Hammering it long.
And that's one thing about playoff volleyball, if you notice here, usually in a regular season game, what happens is you only have two sideline linesmen. We have one watching every sideline, so every sideline is being watched really well. That ball was close, but just out of bounds.
Bishop with the float serve. Katrina Rossell pops it up, not well though. Nielsen's able to send it back, so Hudson puts it over. Pajazzi now setting Brett Haggerty. And she goes cross court. Gaels are looking one-dimensional, but it's working for them.
Well, that's the mismatch, and that's the thing. You got to go there every time. Doesn't matter. You got to go until Brett's shoulder basically falls off, because what's happening is that she has that mismatch. And that mismatch, she is finding it over and over again.
And she finds it again.
And now we got a sub coming in, and this sub is purely on blocking purposes.
Madeline Mandrick in, taking out Belhuber. And Brett Haggerty single-handedly forcing the Blues to change up their play. Katrina Rossel pops it up. Go a little step around. Katie Haggerty pops it up. But a diving Shannon Neville can't get to it. Shannon Neville's been playing well on defense here late in the first set, taking over for Ogilvie. But it's Shannon Rossel now to serve for the Blues. That deep float serve, taken well by Brett Haggerty, but it's close to the net. Pajazzi just sends it over.
And that was a great play by Pajazzi. And actually, you don't see her tip deep much, okay? Usually when her tips are sharp into the middle of the pot. But on that play, that ball was tight enough that she just pushed it to the back corner. And usually those ones can't be picked up the defense because usually 6 is sitting right in the middle of the court and then 4 or 5 are up. So that was a great tip by Pajazzi.
Haggerty with the serve, serves it deep. Hudson pops it up. And Sider gets blocked. Pajazzi didn't realize it was coming down right beside her.
And this is a match we were expecting to see. First set, 21-20. 1-point match, 5 points to go.
Pajazzi just a little quick hit. Wilson would have had that, but Neville just kind of desperation trying to get under it, hit it away. And we're all tied up here at 21. And this OUA quarterfinal action. Madeline Mandrick to serve. Wilson props it up. Pajazzi sets Ogilvie. Goes across the court. Katrina Rossel pops it up. It's going to be Sider now. That one's popped up. Katie Haggerty does a good job of sending that one up, and it's going to be Brett Haggerty now just rolling it from the back. Hudson passes it up to Mandrick. And that attack by Nielsen was met by a Queen's block. Going to set Ogilvie. She just rolls it over. Katrina Rossel's now going to pop it up, and Hudson's going to send it over. Wilson. Now Pajazzi sends it to Ogilvie. Gets a good swing, but it's blocked. It's going to be Ogilvie again. Just rolling it off the fingertips of Nielsen, and the Blues couldn't get to it. Pretty good rally there, but the Gaels ended up taking the point.
Once again, there was some great patience by calling Ogilvie. You know, just find your shots. When the set was there, swing on it. When the set's not there, find somebody who's going to keep that ball in play.
Rossel with a weak pass, but it's going to be Nielsen sending it over. Pajazzi sets Ogilvie. Sends that one long. Looked like she was looking for contact there, but couldn't find the Toronto fingertips. And it's Charlotte Sider to serve. Haggerty, not the greatest pass, but Katie Haggerty's going to be able to send it over now. And it's going to be Hudson. Haggerty pops it up. Wilson now setting Ogilvie off the block. Haggerty sets Ogilvie again. And it goes off the block. And Hudson and Mandrick couldn't get to it. Gaels are going to make a substitution. Ali Shamey's coming in for Pajazzi. Shamey's going to serve. Taking her time, gonna go with the float serve. Katrina also pops it up. Mandrick sets Hudson, goes off of Bishop's fingertips. Shammy sets Ogilvie, who just rolls it, but the Blues are gonna get to it. Hudson's gonna tip it over. Bishop blocks it. Mandrick's gonna set Nielsen. She rolls it over, but it's tipped up. Shammy's gonna get a chance to set in the middle. Wilson now pops it up. Shammy sets Ogilvie. And big hit. Wilson plays it, might have gone out of bounds, but it's going to be Bishop now, rolling it over. Mandrick did well to pop that up. Now it's going to be the Blues' chance, and Shammy can't handle that one. Becky Wilson probably should have left that over bump.
Yeah, that looked like it was just a little bit out of bounds. Tough luck right there, and then Off the backcourt attack, just a little tough luck with the two diggers colliding with each other.
Sarah Chapin now to serve. Shammy sets Ogilvy. Wilson can't pop it up. And the Blues are going to have a chance at set point here. But Queens is going to call timeout. Just try and figure out a way to get this next point.
Yeah, the Toronto blockers there were camping a little bit out on Colleen Ogilvy, and the set was just a little bit too tight in end. They did a great job extending over, getting both hands on the ball, and that ball went straight down. There wasn't really an opportunity for the Gaels to dig that ball back up.
First set so far. Interesting to see how the rest of this one shapes out. Sarah Chapin, third-year student from Georgetown, Ontario, to serve for the Blues. Fans making some noise. Float serve taken by Wilson. Shammy goes wide to Bishop.
Yeah. Great swing with Bishop right down line. You saw in that they had a tandem in the middle. The idea being is that UT was so focused on what was happening in the middle, it gave Kelsey Bishop a 1-1 outside, and she did a good job swinging down the line, catching that setter off guard, and putting the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, they hadn't been setting Bishop so much here in this first set, but she can do a very good job. Ogilvy's serve, handled by the Blues. And then Nielsen goes down the line to get the point.
That was a great swing. That ball was tight to the net. And I thought the ball was actually a little bit beyond the antenna, but she found a place between the antenna and the sideline and was able to put it down.
And after getting that point, Jennifer Nielsen now chance to serve the set. Wilson pops it up. Pajazzi sets Brett Haggerty, goes off the block and out. That was close to the line. Gaels, moment of fear crossed all their faces there, but they get the point. And Katie Haggerty now gets to serve. We're all tied up at 25 here. Serves it deep. Sider pops it up. It's going to be Hudson now. Ogilvy sends it up. Pajazzi. Ball just kind of goes off both her hands, gets called on a double touch.
A little bit unfortunate there. Gaels managed to get a dig in transition, or looking to go out to Haggerty again one-on-one.
Hudson to serve. Ogilvy passes it up to Pajazzi. Go to Brett Haggerty. Goes off the block. Popped up by Hudson. Mandrick quick in the middle. Queens pops it up. Ogilvy sends it to Pajazzi. And they're going to go to Brett Haggerty again. Popped up. Haggerty's going to get a second chance. Big slow mistake there. Ties up the game, and that is her 7th kill here in the first set.
That was a great swing by Haggerty, be able to find that seam in the block, put the ball down. She did a really good job being aggressive tonight.
Mandrick sets Sider. Blocked by Pajazzi. And the Gaels are going to have their first set point opportunity here.
That was a great one-on-one block by Pajazzi. Able to get her hands on the ball. She had great timing out there on the outside, and Sider hit the ball right into her hands where she was penetrating. Looking off here, probably UT off all the time out. They've got 2 hitters and front row setters, so probably maybe something with the step of Rossel. She just did a great job going cross court to 1 and 2. Same time with that step, that's going to pull that Queens middle blocker out to the outside, so much should give Sider a one-on-one block on the outside. Queens also has to be prepared, just maybe on that scramble play off a pass. It could be a front roll tip there. So Neville's got to find Rossel. Pajazzi's got to find Sider again. You got to stay true and be able to see if they get hands on the ball and put this ball back down on their side.
Bishop to serve. Serves it down the line. Popped up by Sider. Little step around. And that one works for Toronto again. They've had a lot of luck with that.
And that was just, once again, Rossel going one-on-one integrity, and there's probably a 5 or 6 inch advantage when it goes on that swing, found her hands and out of bounds.
Shannon Rossel to serve, that deep, deep float serve. Wilson can't handle it. Diving Ogilvy, about a foot away.
And that's all set up by Rossel staying at the back line and just pounding that ball. Libero Becky Wilson's having a very hard time judging where that ball is, and she has to keep that ball inside her body.
Lots of hang time on it, lots of time for it to move. Wilson didn't judge that one well, but was able to pop it up well. Now it's Haggerty, goes off the block. They're gonna set Haggerty again. Goes off the block again and out of bounds. Toronto's arguing for no touch, but
that was pretty close there. Katie Nevelson from the center to take that second ball. That ball didn't quite clear out of hands, but being 28-27 there, referee let it go. You don't want to have a really iffy call to end game point, so got away with it.
Mandrick sets Sider. Ogilvy pops it up. Wilson now sending it over. Queen's just going to give the free ball. Mandrick sets Sider again. Sends it long, but it hit Queen's block.
Yeah, that just went off of Josh's hands and out of bounds. Tried to say nothing had happened, but it did.
Mandrick now pops it up. Wilson sends it to Bajazzi, goes out wide to Ogilvy, who just tips it over. Hudson pops it up now. Katrina Rossel sending it to Sider. And Sider ends the first set with that kill.
That was a great play by Sider. You know, a great dig down the line. Ross was able to send the ball nice and high. Able to send the ball nice and high. Then what happens is she just rips on that ball, being ahead by one at 29-28. It allowed her to swing hard on that ball, and she found sharp cross score, and the ball went down. UT wins the first set, 30-28.
Take it off at the end there, or? Oh, okay.
Good job, Michael. So you won a t-shirt. Do you want to continue to play for that sweatshirt? All right. Second song, BJ.
No, it is. It was, she didn't know how to switch the set, from set 1 to set 2, because she's never done it before, so I just had to show her that. But
I can't get on her website.
the Queen's TV one or the SSN one? I'm not sure about that. Melanie's the one that usually sets that up. Weird. Yeah. set about to get underway here. Tough, hard-fought first set was taken by Toronto right at the very end there. Nice point by Sider.
Yeah, and Queens really had to work for their points this first set. If you look up on the scoreboard there, 28 Queen points came by kills. UT didn't give them a lot of easy points. And they're going to have to recognize that they're going to have to earn every point. So Queens has really got to buckle down this set, making sure that they don't give up any easy points.
First point in the second set.
Toronto is going back to Julia Belhumer as the setter. Interesting to see if the Gaels can take advantage of that. Jazzy serves it deep. Belhumer in the middle. Wilson pops it up, sent over. And Katie Haggerty did well to pop that one up. Now it's going to be Ogilvie going off the block. And a diving Wooding couldn't get to it. Ted Queens is going to take the first 2 points.
Once again, UT's went back to Belhumer as their setter, and Ogilvie that time found her hands in out of bounds. So they put Belhumer back in, and Queens right away finds that blocking mismatch and are able to score.
But Jazzy sets Bishop. Nice vision there to go beside where Wooding was.
This is the start that the Gaels wanted to see in the third set. A quick 3-0 lead, and they're able to make them run a little.
A quick little set over the net. It's met by Queens, but the Gaels' attack went into the net.
Blues on the board.
So the Blues get their first point, and Belhumer will go back to serve now for the Blues. Wilson pops it up. Now it's going to be Ogilvie just tipping it over, finding the empty floor.
There was a little hesitation there by Rossell out of 5, and UT Diggers respecting the libero to take that ball. All of a sudden she hung back, and now he's find the middle of the court there and score.
Ogilvie definitely made it look like she was going to go line for a second, just holding up Rossell, but Rossell takes that serve. Now it's going to be Belhumer setting Sider, goes wide. Definitely a little bit of space there, but didn't quite either take enough off it or get enough topspin on the ball to make it fall down. And it's going to be Ogilvie to serve.
Ogilvie's taking us a little bit off her serve, making sure that serve that's in. Even though she's taking a little bit off a serve, it's being able to be still effective.
Haggerty puts that one into the block, then gets called for the lift afterwards. She tried to just kind of chicken wing it up, but
yeah, all of a sudden the blocker changed on the left side. She had to go against Sider, but that's a bigger block than Belhumer is, and Sider's able to come up straight back down. Haggerty didn't do anything with it.
It is Charlotte Sider now to serve for the Blues. Ogilvie pops it up. Kajazi backs that to Bishop. Goes off the block. Now it's going to be Bishop setting Ogilvie for the back row middle attack. Just flying for the line. Very nice attack there. It's now Katie Haggerty. Beautiful float serve taken by Rossell. Belhumer puts it up. Jazzy sets Bishop. Going after Wooding right now.
And that's the thing. Queens got what they want right now. On the wings, they've got one-on-one blocks. And with Ogilvie and Bishop swinging 1-1 on the wings, they're going to find that open floor, especially if that ball's set tight to the net. They're able to jump high enough to go either over top the block or make a sharp enough angle. They're going to find the seam between the two diggers, 4 and 5 or 1 and 2.
Forced Toronto to go back to Mandrick as the setter. She's 2 inches taller than Belhumer, but a little bit more vertical leap too. But Queens is able to get that point too, and they've already jumped out to an 8-2 lead.
And Queens just did a nice job on defense, getting balls in transition. And when they've gotten balls in transition, they've found some good angles and been able to put the ball away. Whereas in the first set, some of those balls were in transition that the Queens are getting. UT were getting hands on the second and third ball, able to keep the ball in play, and then UT was getting something out of it. So a great start to the set. They just have to maintain. It's going to be huge to maintain this lead. All right, it's going to be maintained a 6-point advantage. If they are able to maintain the 6-point advantage right here, it's easier to play going downhill. They don't want to let Toronto sneak in with a couple points, give them some more.
And the second set problems that have plagued Toronto this season on the road seem to be coming up again.
That's what he said right there, and sure enough, 8-2.
As Katie Haggerty goes to serve, gets a little bit of topspin on that float serve, but Wooding takes it well. It's going to be Wooding now with the attack, just rolling it over. Neville losing her balance as she went to pop it up. Couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of in between right there. It's really hard for a middle to take. And Neville probably being the least experienced digger out there, being levered off, let that ball go out on a ball that they really should have dug up and had a good swing out of it.
Ogilvy with the pass to Pajazi. And it's going to be Brett Haggerty in the middle, but it's blocked. She pops it up, and now it's going to be Bishop sending it over to Katie Neville, who just bumps it deep. Probably would have found the back corner, so Toronto's forced to play it. And they go in the middle. Shannon Russell was blocked, but then just kind of knocked it over. And now Bishop going against Wooding, gets the point.
It's really good to see Bishop getting some good swings out there. On off times during the season, she's really had trouble just with her arm swing, connecting with the ball, getting solid connection. In this game, she seems to be making really good gain over top the ball and getting the ball down.
Definitely had a quiet first set, but going against Wooding now on that side, she's been making a lot happen there. Pajazi just tips it over, but Katrina Russell is able to pop it up. And Wooding is blocked there. I'm not sure whether it was Pajazi or Neville that got their hands on it, but they both were up there.
And I think you're going to see Christine Drake try to slow down the game now. She's already used one of her timeouts, so get some subs in there, see if they can just slow down the game, because Queens are rolling right now.
Nielsen goes cross court, or Bishop pops it up. Now it's Neville just tipping it over. Russell pumps it up, and Wooding now just rolls it over. Bishop to Pajazi, sets Brett Haggerty. And Katrina Russell couldn't control it. And the Gaels are starting to run away with this second set.
You know, it's some excellent transitional play out there from Queens. One thing that's really impressive with Bishop this year has been her defensive ability. She's long and lanky, tallest Gaels out there, but she's really nice and low on defense. She had a great dig out there, able to get that ball going in transition. Haggerty was able to put the ball away.
Wooding comes out of the game. Crossier overbumps it right off that. And Queens just sends it right back down. Crossier, though, had quite the game against the Gaels a couple weeks ago. He only had 9 attacks, but was able to get on a kill on 8 of them.
That was a great swing. Pajazi not used to quite doing that. Hit that ball inside the attack line. Became really aggressive with her tackle over the last few weeks. Has been evident, both dumping the ball and swinging on overbumps. And that ball wasn't coming back. And Queens has expanded that 8-2 lead now into 12-3, so they did a really excellent job of playing downhill. And it hasn't been Toronto errors, okay? It's just been Queens attacking. And so Jolie really wanted to be aggressive with her swings this week. They've been able to do that, and it's seen in the second set with 12-3. And they have 3 players with 7 kills already. We're already in the second set.
Timeout, second-year player Denise Wooding trying to fire up her teammates on the Toronto bench before head coach Christine Dragon shot. Be interesting to see. The Gaels send that one long.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see right now. The Gaels have the center in the front row where they've struggled over recent weeks. If they can get those quick side outs with her in the front row.
Pajazi sets Brett Haggerty, puts it off the antenna. And Toronto gets 2 quick points. Most of their points this set, though, still have come off of Gaels' errors as well.
Yeah. In fact, I don't think actually UT have scored a point off a swing yet.
The quick in the middle to Neville.
Katie now was just able to catch that left side player just reaching over Crozier as he was trying to block. She found her hands, was able to dribble it down. But once again, like I said, they're bunch blocking in the middle, and they have 2 people blocking there on the middle blockers, or middle hitters. And so they were able to get good hands. He just caught him going up.
Brett Haggerty targeted Rebecca Crossier there. She couldn't handle the serve. So Brett Haggerty gets the ace. Sends that one wide.
He's being a little bit too aggressive with his serve. Probably asking him to serve right at Crozier, but when you usually want to do that, you want to serve in the seam between 5 and 6, and she was serving to the seam on the wide side of 5, missed by quite a lot.
Definitely a difficult serve, but I guess the Gaels have a little bit of breathing room here in the second set. Siders hit goes off the Queen's block. Now it's going to be Pajazzi setting Ogilvy. Off the block, Crozier pops it up in the middle. Off Neville's hands, off Pajazzi. And a diving Becky Wilson couldn't get a hold of it. Gaels lead by 7 here.
Probably going to try to speed that ball up to and they did speed up to Ogilvy. I was going to say Ogilvy in the middle. And they did, but they were able to get that swing on that ball. They dug up the tip and got a dump in transition. And right here, you've seen the Gaels again struggling with the setter in the front court. The 9-point deficit now became 6.
Pajazzi dumps it over. Nielsen pops it up, though. It's going to be Sider with the back row attack. Wilson pops it up. Pajazzi now to Ogilvy. And that one goes along the net. Now the Gaels going to call it timeout as their lead just kind of disappearing.
Yeah, UT Volunteers have this lead here. It's going to be really important that Queens maintain their composure out there. Somebody's got, Noah's got to really make sure she holds that block. They need a good pass. They get a good pass and they're going to be able to hold that middle block and hopefully get Ogilvy a seam. So if they can't hold that middle blocker, then what's going to happen is they're going to double in on the outside. UT has just been really steady. Serving really tough right now. You know, making Queens set it out to the outside and then they're camping out there with 2 blockers. They might see something off here where they might actually even take Ogilvy somewhere in the middle in order to get a better hitting angle.
Roger to serve. Wilson pops it up to Pajazzi. It was met by Toronto blocks, and that's going to be Brett Haggerty from the back row. Tipped over by Toronto. It's going to be Ogilvy now. Nielsen pops it up.
Crucial point right there. That was crucial. Good rally and be able to get a point off of that. That was big time, because if not, then all of a sudden it's a 4-point game and maybe start down themselves, but really good.
Just got a little bit lucky there. Just the route that Shannon Rossell was taking made Mandrick think she was going to get it. So neither one of them was able to get there. Quick in the middle to Shannon Rossell. Allows Toronto to get the next point, though. Just got the ball stuck between the net and Ogilvy.
Once again, this becomes immediate. Be really important to try to set off on this first ball right here. Get it to technical timeout with that 6-point lead. But you got Rossell serving from the back end, so they've had trouble with this.
She goes for Ogilvy, though, who does a great pass. A little step around by Haggerty. Goes off the block and out of bounds. So that'll bring us to the second set technical timeout.
That was a great pass by Colleen Ogilvy, and that allowed that step to be run. And the thing was is that you saw the little hesitation with the middle there because they were expecting maybe to pump back out with Ogilvy, but being a good set, all of a sudden, Pajazzi was able to run that back step. Middle was late, able to get that middle just penetrating a little bit late as reaching over. She hit the ball and out of bounds. So a great side out by Queens once again. Now they got 3 hitters back in the front court. Let's look for them to expand their lead a little bit right now.
The
pretty.
Gaels practically escaped that dreaded front row setter position as I think it's Pajazzi going to serve after this. If not, she'll be next up. So
Yeah, it's going to be really important that they, once again, as you saw through that sequence, they had a 9-point lead, and as the setter went through the road, it got as low as 5. They managed to get back to 6, but throughout this match, when as that setter's been going through the run row, you see any lead the Queens has shrank a little bit. So, and Bishop and both been swinging great in this set too, so it's great to have her back in the front court.
Rossel puts it up to Mandrick, who sets cider, goes off the block.
Trying to determine if that went off the antenna, then off the block, or off the block, the antenna. And it went off the antenna, and then the block. And that's the difference too with Kelsey Bishop over there. She's the best, highest reaching blocker on the Queens team. She armpits over the net. There's not a lot of space out there, so it forced Cider to try to go around. It hit off the antenna.
Katrina Rossel, not the greatest pass. To Cider, she's going to tip it over. Pajazzi, though, has to take the first ball. It's going to be Ogilvie now sending it over. Rolls it to Katrina Rossel. Mandrick in the middle. Wilson pops it up. Now Pajazzi sets Ogilvie again.
And that's a big point right there, is that even though on that first set, Ogilvie wasn't quite there, she didn't have enough time to take an approach. And 17-10 right there, and she got it the second time, but they have to make sure when you get maybe even half approaches, you get the big swing, because UT did get a ball in transition.
That ball sent into the Queens bench, and Ogilvie's smart to not really chase that one down too much. 7-point lead, you don't need to really get that 1 point and risk the rest of the match or future playoff games.
Yeah.
But Mandrick with a good float serve. Wilson can't really handle it.
And they're picking on Wilson here, being her first playoff game. 2 serving targets, serving between Ogilvie and Wilson. They feel that either, Ogilvie with her being the big gun, basically, if you can get her to get off serving, they might get her out of the game. Then Wilson being first playoff game, they're looking to do is to see if get her off her game, make a substitution at libero.
Mandrick sets Cider, goes off the block, and it was really tight to the net, so Bishop couldn't really do much with it.
I'm pretty sure Julie Chris McFarland is saying, swing on that ball, swing on that ball. You can't win by rolling, you gotta win by swinging.
Wilson with the pass now to Pajazzi. It's gonna be Bishop.
Great set by Pajazzi, great play call, sped it up, middle couldn't get there, and like you said, Kelsey Bishop swinging really well there. She was able to subplant that just inside the attack line.
Shannon Neville comes back in for Ogilvie. Mandrick sets Nielsen, goes cross court, Bishop pops it up, and it's gonna be Brett Haggerty. She hits those ones fairly well most of the time, but that was not one of those times.
Unfortunately, she started to think about hitting something down the line, that ball crossed her body. She's got to take that ball to the widest part of the court. Don't think about scoring on that bad set. Think about putting it deep and hard cross court.
That float serve just goes long. Serving for the Gaels. Goes deep. Roger pops it up. It's going to be Nielsen now, just rolling it over. Shannon Neville did well to play that one up. Going to set Nielsen again. Cross court, Pajazzi pops it up. And Brett Haggerty now. Deep shot taken by Katrina Rossel. Now Roger. That was Katie Haggerty that did well to get to it. And Brett just kind of rolls it along the net.
That was a great Haggerty combo there. Great dig by Katie Haggerty. Really nice low to the ground. Got her arms underneath, popping out, and then a great hit going sharp cross court by Brett Haggerty. Able to roll that ball by the blockers, able to score.
Yeah, for most of the season, when Katie Haggerty's been back serving and playing some defense, Gaels have had some pretty good offense through Brett. Some good teamwork there. Gaels just kind of maintaining this 6-point lead. Not really doing much to extend it, but not letting Toronto back in it either.
And that's all they have to do. Maintain it. You know, it's nice to extend, but if they're able to play side-out ball, Julie, Chris, and the far would just be happy with that, and that's what they're doing right now. Some nice side-out ball.
Haggerty with her 10th kill of the match already right there. Bishop pops it up. Pajazzi's going to set Brett Haggerty again. Tries to just tip it over the block, but Shannon Rossell blocked it. Queens captain Katie Neville being called over to talk to the refs. I think it's just after the play is over, Queens is getting frustrated and rolling the ball on the Toronto side.
It's asking to roll it off the side. That's the second time we've had to ask them to do that.
Oh, beautiful job by Brett Haggerty to get it in. And the Toronto attack goes wide.
That'd be very frustrating for Christine Drakens there. Get them a little bit, you know, that was a great play by Brett Haggerty, but you get a free ball there and then they just hit the ball out of bounds with no block in the middle. You know, it's a killer.
That play right there reminded me of play out west this past week. Just showing you how much spin. I can't remember who it actually was, but if you just look up Impossible Volleyball shot on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find it. Just bumped it and got the spin and was able to get the point. And just like dragged it across the net. I think it was not Mount Allison, one of the teams out west. But Pajazzi now sets Ogilvy. And Mandrick now sets Crozier. Ogilvy pops it up. Very nice job. Now she's going to get a chance to hit it. Goes off the block. Rossell pops it up. Now it's going to be Mandrick setting Crozier. And she gets the kill. Katie Haggerty can't control it.
That's a big thing right now. UT seems to be attacking the 4-5 position cross court. You're not seeing them take any balls down the line at all.
Ogilvy sends it just long.
You see the advantage of having four linesmen right there, because the linesman, that duck would have been the linesman in the corner, not able to make that call, been up to the head referee, but since the linesman's looking down along the baseline there, was able to make that call.
Crozier gets the ace, and Katie Haggerty can't control that one.
Timeout, Queens.
Toronto's within 5, but the Gaels are going to call a timeout. Just make sure they win this one.
Yeah, just a little bit of relaxation out there by Queens over the last 2 or 3 points. You know, Julie's just going to bring them in. She'll probably just get a set play out there, how they're going to do it. Like I said, with Colleen Ogilvy in the front court, what they're going to probably try to do is just run either something quicker to the outside or run something maybe in the 5 zone. At the same time, probably going to step Katie Neville away, so at least get some separation between the middle blocker and 2 outside hitters.
Wilson doesn't really handle that serve well. Brett Haggerty's going to send it up.
Oh.
The step around by Ross is met by a block. They send it deep. Wilson passes it up to Pajazzi. Goes to Neville. But Sider and Rossell were up for the block.
Once again, there's 4 hands on that ball. A double block in the middle, hard to go around.
Wilson with a good pass this time. Pajazzi sets Ogilvy in the middle.
No touch call on the attack.
Second line judge looked like he wanted to call it touch there, but thought better of it. this one up. And it's going to be Ogilvy with the attack. Trina Rosso sends it up. And it's going to be Sider just rolling it in. Haggerty just rolls it over. Mandrick. Set Rosso, now it's going to be Ogilvy. Goes off the block, Nielsen puts it up. Mandrick sets Sider. Net by the Queens, block, but the Gaels are going to send it over. Good defensive effort there. They go to Sider again, and she sends it long.
Oh!
But they called touch.
Touch call.
Gaels are going to make some substitutions.
Substitution.
And this is that problem they had in the first set. All of a sudden, the setter's in the front court. They're not able to score with just 2 hitters. So what Jolie McChristen McFarland's done, subbed in a setter for the back court, right side Bishop, and then put a hitter in the front court, Alex Hine, for the setter at end of Pajasi.
Roger gets the ace.
It's a 1-point game.
Queens doesn't have any timeouts left here in the second set, but they need a point here.
That's a crusher for UT. Even though they were trailing by 5 and Manchester went 1, battle all the way back and then send that ball flowing back out of bounds. Gave Queens a huge break. They were feeling pretty good out there. All of a sudden a 6-point game point lead goes into a matching tied 24-20 all serve, and 0 points difference between the 2 teams after 2 sets. Both teams have won by 2, as close as they can get.
Yeah, Crozier there, when she didn't have any pressure on her serves, didn't have any problem with it, but maybe just the feeling that she had to get that one in and make it troubling for the Gaels. Might have gotten to her on that final one.
Queens got to take a time just to sit down, recover, catch their breath out there, because it's really apparent that they, just got a little scattered. They have to do a better job with the setter in the front court. They gave up 5 points there in the last little run there. And if they can't improve that, then, that's taking away their chances of winning this match.
And it almost didn't matter. All right, keep going.
Ogilvy back to serve, and that ball's into the net. Only the second point of the game, so not a huge service here by Colleen Ogilvy. Scores 1-1 in the serve set. Here, live the Arc, Queens quarterfinal playoff action between UT Blues and the Queens Gaels.
And just a reminder, after this game, we also have men's volleyball, where Queens will be taking on York in quarterfinal action as well. Brett Haggerty rolls it cross court there. And now it's going to be Sider's attack. Wilson gets underneath it. And Bajazzi's able to bump set Ogilvy.
That was a little bit iffy on that set there. It was a great dump. The ball looked to come awkward off the setter's hands, but it was a clean contact. UT goes up 2-1.
Shannon Rossel with that deep float serve. Wilson pops it up well this time, and it's quick in the middle. Haggerty does a nice job there. And that's a really important point for Queens. There's been a couple of people serving for Toronto that have been able to go on runs, and Rossel's been one of them.
That's a little bit of good confidence builder for Wilson too, because he's had trouble with that Rossel serve.
Katrina Rossel didn't handle that serve too well, so the Gaels will send it over. And it's sent to Brett Haggerty. Goes cross court, off Sider's hands, and diving Katrina Rossel couldn't get to it.
That was a great set by Bajazzi as that free ball pass by Neville was really tight to net, but she was able to shoot that ball out the power to Brett Haggerty. He was able to put the ball away.
And Rossel with another poor pass. Just going to be sent over by Wooding. Bishop now. Big hit.
And if Bishop continues to be hot, that bodes really well for Queens. If he can continue to rack up those kills on the right side, it's really going to help him out. It's one of the better performances she's had in the second half of the season. Hopefully keep on riding it to the end here.
Queens targets Wooding on the serve. And the attack from the Blues goes long.
And as you've seen, except for the end of that one set there, as this game's gone along, the number of errors UT's made has been quantified. Once again, it's allowed the Gaels to get out an early lead in this third set.
Sider just rolls it over. Off the block, and Haggerty couldn't get to it. Bajazzi bump set to Brett Haggerty. Rossel pops it up. Bajazzi now sets Bishop. Kind of an awkward hit, but she gets it over. Mandrick now sets Nielsen.
Created that scene right there is Haggerty decided not to go up, feeling the ball was off net. She might have rolled it. When she did that, that created a huge space in the back court. Nielsen was able to find that seam and able to score.
Brett Haggerty with a nice hit, but it's going to be Sider now. Ogilvy caught going the wrong way. And Mandrick has been able to serve it. Get the Blues to go on a little bit of a run here. Bajazzi sets Bishop.
Great swing down the line.
Great swing. I'm not sure whether Rossel took that in the side of the face or the shoulder. Either way, it's got to hurt. And now Bishop to serve. Serves it deep to Katrina Rossel. Mandrick sets Nielsen. Up off the double block, but it's out of bounds.
And that's something actually Bishop also did really well tonight, is being able to go cross court, down the line, cross court. She's been doing an excellent job mixing up her shots.
Sider with the serve. Not handled well by Katie Haggerty, but Gaels are able to get it all over. And Mandrick called on the double touch on that set.
Tried to be a little bit fancy there. Shoot it back out to Nielsen. Did that, was a little bit behind her and causing that double contact.
Brett Haggerty now to serve. And the attack in the middle there goes off Queen's block, and Queens can't recover.
Touch in the middle from Toronto falls to the wooden floor. Set Toronto at 7.
Sarah Chapin now to serve for Toronto. Goes after Ogilvy. Jazzy now sets Neville. Sends it along. The ball just kind of held up in the air on her there.
Just got to finish, had the right spot there. Just got to finish with the out elbow. Snap over top of the ball. Great spot, just a little bit long.
Toronto leading 8-7 here in the third set. Chapin to serve, goes after Wilson. And it's going to be Ogilvy.
That's a huge thing too in women's volleyball, with finding when those middles are back to serve for either team. Usually they're not as great defense, so if you start attacking them with your swings, usually you can find the court a little bit easier.
Neville to serve, goes down the line. Rossel sends it over to Wooding, gives it to Nielsen, who just sends it over. To Jazzy, sets Ogilvy. Rossel pops it up, and it's going to be Wooding now.
She's also doing a really good job on defense right now, getting really low to the ground. A lot of balls are just in front of her, but she's still able to slip their arms underneath and pop those balls up.
Neville to serve again. Goes after Rossel. And Nielsen just tips it over. Jazzy got a hand on it, but couldn't pop it up for anyone else.
Real unfortunate because that ball was tight to the net, and he should have got something in transition here. The only thing she could do was tip that ball. You got to read and recognize when that ball is tight on net, but she's probably not be able to swing. You got to move in and try to pop that ball up.
Nielsen serves it to Ogilvy. But Jazzy sets Ogilvy, who finds the line.
Anytime they speed up that set there, it allows Ogilvy, you know, just that little seam in the middle, and she's able to find the back court.
And it'll be Jazzy to serve. Serves it deep. Rossel pops it up. Mandrick sets Wooding. Goes off of Bishop's arms. And good for a Gaels block.
Great delay by Kelsey Bishop there. Allowed her to penetrate, getting hands on the ball.
Jazzy serve goes wide. Giving the point back to Toronto.
Alex Hudson to serve.
As Alex Hudson goes back to serve. Serves it to Brett Haggerty. For Jazzy now, setting Bishop. He jumped way up there.
Once again, something just a little bit faster. UT blockers are having trouble getting over it, first closing the block and penetrating in time. And the two big leapers of Bishop and Ogilvy are scoring at will.
Ogilvy to serve. Lots of topspin on that one. Also with a good pass to Mandrick. But Sider's just going to send it over. Ogilvy passes it up, and it's a little step around to Haggerty, but that was blocked by Toronto.
Gaels trying to run the switch from 18 into a draw.
Good one-on-one block there with Sider. Able to get her hands on that ball and be able to put that back ball on Queen's side. And since it was a switch that they ran, there really isn't anybody there for block coverage.
Shannon Rossel with that deep serve. Goes after Ogilvy, but it's a good pass. Now it's going to be Brett Haggerty with the hit. Down the line. That's her 12th kill of the game. Actually, 3 Gaels players now at 12. Bishop, Ogilvy, and Brett Haggerty. Sider sends it over. Jazzy pops it up. Katie Haggerty sets Bishop. But sends it outside the antenna, so Toronto will get this point.
Yeah, and Coach Christian was Farland was just telling her, you got to take that ball on the angle, not let it get outside, and take that ball deep cross court.
Andrick with the serve, Pajazzi sets Bishop, trying to redeem herself for that last one, but Toronto's able to get it, and they go in the middle. And we'll get the point off of that.
That's been the thing. Last 3 or 4 points, Gaels have been up by 1 and have been able to get balls in transition, but haven't been able to put a way to expand that lead to 2 or 3 points. And now we got a tied set at 13 again.
Ogilvy sends it up to Pajazzi, gives it to Bishop.
Pajazzi goes offside to Bishop. Attack squeezes through block. Queens back up by 1.
Nice swing by Bishop there to get the point for Queens. She's now serving. Sends it deep to Rossel.
Here's they gotta capitalize on the free ball here.
And they do as Pajazzi just jumps it over.
That was helped by the ball being really tight on the net. It's easier to dump that ball down when it's tight on the net. And that was just a little bit tight, and she was able to throw that ball down.
Yeah, if she didn't do that, they might not have been able to use that free ball, but she gets the point for the Gaels, and now Bishop sends it in.
You're gonna get another free ball roll shot. Not the pass they wanted though.
Haggerty goes right into the double block.
Yeah, that allowed Sider to camp out there and shoot it. Elbows over top the net there, and unfortunately we have Sider in the middle, and you know, it's a little bit harder for Haggerty to get that seam or line shot.
Sider now serves it. Ogilvy with the pass. They're going to go back to Brett Haggerty. She goes off the block this time. It's popped up. Sent over. Katie Haggerty does well to play it. Now it's going to be Brett trying to go down the line. We're all tied up at 15 now, though.
Haggerty goes into the net.
She put that one into the net.
Touch ball. Set even at 15. Blues with possession.
And once again, got that center in the front court, and they haven't been able to score on the last 3 plays. Just the options aren't there right now. And when you don't have a pass either, it makes it a little bit difficult.
And the swing in the middle for the Blues. Takes us to the third set technical timeout.
Chapman got that point there.
16-15.
And Toronto's got 3 straight
Town
points
scores to pass along.
to bring us to the third set technical timeout. They lead by 1.
Western Mustangs by a score of 3 sets to 1. Ryerson
Yeah, just get a nice little run there by UT. They've managed to put some pressure on Queens passing, which has led to a lot of the balls that going outside. And then what's happening is UT is just camping out on the outside with their blockers. They're able to stuff a couple back and then get a couple balls in transition.
Charlotte Sider will continue to serve for the Blues after this technical timeout. Pajazzi back set to Neville, but Blues are going to get it. Nielsen now sending it deep. Ogilvy pops it up, and they set Brett Haggerty. Hudson pops it up. Now Mandrick back to Nielsen. Haggerty pops it up. The other Haggerty now just rolling it over. Sent over though. Wilson gives it to Pajazzi. Step around. Sent up. Nielsen's going to get a chance to roll it over again. This time in the middle, met by a Toronto block. Gaels are really struggling. Ogilvy pops it up.
Some great blocking by the UT there. Not being a big stuff block, but just balls just keeping Queens off balance a little bit. And finally you get one where they get good penetration on, put the ball back down.
Gaels got to look for maybe a back row attack or something, just switch it up. Because with Pajazzi in the front row, Toronto is just teeing up on the other two. Ogilvie with a weird hit over there, so it's just going to be a free ball over. Mandrick in the middle. Popped up by the Gaels, but Jazzy gets to send it over. Mandrick sets Hudson. Ogilvie pops it up. Giving it back to Brett Haggerty. Rossel now pops it up. Mandrick sets Nielsen. Popped up by Haggerty, but Jazzy just sends it over. Nielsen now pops it up. They're going to go back to Haggerty. She just tips it over. Hudson keeps it alive. Nielsen sends it over. But Jazzy now to Neville. Rolls it. And it's going to be Hudson. Popped up by Haggerty. Good rally going on here. Haggerty goes off the block, but Rossel pops it up. Mandrick now sets Hudson. Ogilvie sends it up. Haggerty, it's going to be a free ball. Goes deep and just long.
That was a great rally between both teams. Some great digs, some great swings. Fortunately, in just free ball, giving the ball over all air. Gaels right now need 6 points now. 5 points that they scored off of this rotation. Maybe see a double sub maybe coming up, getting 3 hitters in the front row again. Maybe see middles between the two middles, maybe a different middle off the bench just to give a different hitting look. But Gaels got to find something to switch up the momentum because right now Toronto's on a roll.
And it's time to revisit the keys to the game for the Gaels. It was getting Ogilvie involved, and she has 12 points so far, so maybe not quite as much as Queens would like, but she's definitely been involved a little bit. And then Queens has been trying to cut down on the service errors, but they had 5 through the first 2 sets. So it's an improvement over the last 2 times these teams met, but still not very good.
They just had the double sub there, so now Queens has a backcourt setter. 3 hitters in the front court.
Shammy and Hines back into the game. Queens might just want to be preemptive and do this whenever now. Kajazzi's in the front row. Shammy sets Haggerty.
But actually, that was pretty funny because they had 3 hitters there, and there was a little confusion on who was going hitting what lane there. And despite the Queens' confusion, what happened is that Toronto blockers all of a sudden got confused. They weren't sure where the hitters were going. Ended up no block, Haggerty on the outside. Play worked. They get that side out finally.
Hudson goes off the block. Neville pops it up. Shammy with the bump set to Ogilvie. Just rolls it deep. Sider does well to get to it. Quick in the middle. Popped up. Just had a viewer question. In the OUA, it doesn't matter who is serving. There is always a point off every serve. That changed a couple of years
1999.
ago. 1999, more than a couple of years ago, I guess. But a lot of viewers still may be wondering about that. Toronto gets that point, though, and they now have a 4-point lead.
The idea was about back in the 90s, what they were seeing doing is just when it was a point when you were serving, their fine matches were going good between good teams would go on long, ever and ever and ever because they just keep on siding out. So this is a speed up play, make it a little bit more TV friendly, add a little bit more excitement in the game.
Hines big hit there, gets a point for the Gaels. Substitutions haven't gotten Queens back into this quite yet. They've stemmed momentum, and teams are just trading points now. Neville to serve. Rossel with a poor pass, and Hudson's just going to send the free ball over. Ogilvie to Shammy, who's going to set Hine, goes off the block. Mandrick sends it up. Now it's going to be Nielsen, goes off the block. Queens just sends it right back over. Rossel to Mandrick in the middle. Haggerty pops it up. Hine just stretched it by just a little bit there.
Yeah, a little tough like that. Hine just kind of missed out on that play. He's got a hand on that, probably will drop for a point. At the Same time, UT's putting a lot of pressure right here with their serving.
Haggerty pops it up, and it's just going to be Shammy sending it over. Rossel up to Mandrick. To Hudson. And the diving Wilson can't get to it.
Outside attack from the Blues. Pucks off Harps and Queens. Timeout.
And Queens is going to call a timeout, trailing by 5 here in the third set. Toronto took the first set. Queens came back to win the second one.
Yeah, that was just that little momentum shift there. Queens had that 15-13 lead, seemed to be rolling a little bit, and all of a sudden, you know, Sido goes back there, starts serving some bombs. All of a sudden, next time Queens gets the ball, it's all of a sudden 18-14 for U of T. The Toronto did a good job of just extending their lead.
Jennifer Nielsen to serve for the Blues. Goes after Ogilvy. Shammy puts it up. And great hit by Haggerty is controlled by Toronto. They send it over. Hine now puts it up. Shammy sets Ogilvy. Just tips it over. Gets the point for Queens.
Push to the left side. And leads to the tip from Ogilvy.
And actually, Ogilvy overran that ball a little bit.
It'll be Hine to serve. Jump float serve goes deep.
Great float serve. Hine has one of the toughest float serves on the team. It really, when it drops, and that's the right reason why you don't see a sub happening right now. What Kristen McFarland's going to do is she's going to let Hine serve her ball out. Once Hine's done serving, the way you'll see is a double sub here and see Bishop and Bajasi come back in, but they want Hine back there to serve. Maybe it's, you know, 2 or 3 tough serves, get a couple balls in transition, but as soon as UT scores the points, you'll see that sub right there. But that was a great serve, now within 3.
Yeah, if you can keep serving like that, you're going to get a couple more points. I mean, when Toronto made that decision on what to do on the ball, it looked like it was going to go long, and then it just dropped. The second set, it was Toronto battling back from a huge deficit to try and come back. They just fell short. Queens now trying to do the same. Hine.
Great serve again.
Haggerty pops it up. Hine just going to send it to Haggerty. Shannon Russell to Mandrick. To Russell. Hine pops it up. Goes over. Queens is going to get another chance at it. They go to Ogilvy. Tips it deep. Sider, though, right there. And that attack goes long.
There in the middle there for the Blues. Touch off the point goes long.
It'll be interesting to see here if UT attacks Shamey on the right side. We got a short blockade over there. And actually what Queens has actually done, and tough block. What Queens did there is they actually moved Shamey to the left side because the setter's out there. Fortunately, Queens couldn't get anything in transition off the play, and Obi ended up hitting the ball into the net.
Queens trailing by 3. Alex Hudson back to serve for the Blues. Wilson
Tough serve.
just popped that one up, and it's going to be Bishop.
Kelsey Bishop smacks the ball for the Gaels. Queens within 2. Substitution
And
yes.
Shannon Neville's going to come in to serve for Ogilvy. Ogilvy
That
can have that big serve, but
They're going for a little bit of defense. Neville has a tough serve too, and that was a little bit close there. Neville wasn't quite up to the substitution zone. Lucky it wasn't waved off.
serves it to Katrina Rossel. Mandrick sets Sider. Shannon Neville pops it up. Bajazzi sets Bishop off the block. Diving Haggerty gets to it. Bishop now pops it up, and Haggerty's going to send it over. They sent Sider. Brett Haggerty should have left that one. Wilson would have had it, but Sand and Russell going to have a chance to serve for the set, although she hasn't had very much luck with her serve so far in this set. Queens has gotten points on both or three of them. I can't remember how many serves she's had, but it's taken by Wilson. Nice pass. And they go to Brett Haggerty. And she gets the point.
Haggerty keeping the Gaels alive. The swing to the left side has no return.
He's going to need 2 more points.
Katie Haggerty is serving.
You might see right here them go back set the Chapman because they got Haggerty right out on the outside.
Katie Haggerty to serve. They send Sider. It's blocked. They pop it up. It's going to be a free ball. They set Bishop. Rossel pops it up. Now it's Hudson. They're going to send it over. Nemel pops it up. Going to set Bishop again.
Oh.
And this time they set Brett Haggerty. And she gets the point.
And left side attack from Brett Haggerty.
Great defense by UT there. They got a couple of tough balls off of Bishop. But then Haggerty, great off hands, are going to end up with another 2-point game here.
Hudson sends it up. It's going to be Sider. Popped up. Brett Haggerty now tips it over. Mandrick sends it up. Nielsen sets Sider. And the point goes to Queens, called on the lift.
Blues call on the lift. Gaels call
Leading, but
27-24.
it was a questionable move for sure.
Well, what the referee is saying is that that ball is behind her head, and then she carried the ball as she threw that ball down. One of those 50-50 calls. Queens got it that time.
We're all tied up at 24. Sider goes, puts it through Brett Haggerty.
Big time swing there by Sider, big time.
Restores a 1-point lead for the Blues.
That's a sharp cross-cut ball that you really have to penetrate on.
Mandrick to serve now for the set. Haggerty
Good
with a nice pass to Jazzy. Sets Bishop.
Oh,
And the Blues are able to send it over. Bishop's going to get a second.
That first thing went down Digger's leg, off the one digger, other digger, and then they managed to get that ball out of bounds. Bishop's back to serve there, not sure, but here we managed to come back while they had 3 hitters across the front row, but now can they score here?
This is the 3rd set in a row that'll be decided by 2 points. Sider sends the free ball into the net.
Attacking air from the Blues. The touch goes into the net.
And boy, that was a change here. It looked like UT had gotten the sack. Lift tall, now Queens have set point, up 26-25.
Well, with the Queens bench and all the fans here coming alive as the Gaels have fought back in this one.
We got a pretty good crowd here tonight, considering it's still reading week's beginning at Queens and most of the people have gone home.
Yeah, all the trains and buses were definitely full leaving Kingston yesterday, but sizable crowd here.
Great the QTV staff has stuck around for a couple of days to help out with this telecast. Been an epic match so far. One of the best playoff games I've seen. We're into the 3rd set. Every set's been 2 points. 2 of the 3 sets have gone past 25. What more can you ask?
And it's Bishop with the float serve, going after Rossel. Mandrick puts it up. It's going to be Sider. Haggerty just sends it back. Hudson gives it to Mandrick. He's going to set Nielsen. Bishop sends it up. Haggerty with the bump set. Katie Haggerty, though, just had to send the free ball over.
You're going to have to go cross court.
It goes off the block. And Queens couldn't get to it.
And that's a huge thing there. I don't know if they're keeping their block intentionally down the line, but everything Cider's doing, they have to take another step over and take away because Cider's only going cross court.
Cider to serve. Taken by Wilson, goes over. Queens is going to get it though. Wilson with a bump set to Haggerty. They go in the middle. And Toronto gets that point.
Advantage for the Blues. Roll finds the open floor. Set point Toronto.
So Toronto will get another set point. They've had a lot of them here in this third set. Haven't been able to do anything with it yet.
Service error credited to the Blues. Goes into the net.
And that one goes into the net. Ogilvy coming back into the game.
And right now, oh sorry.
Now that she's in the front.
Yeah, and right now, if Queens gets a ball in transition right here, they have to swing to win. If they, if they manage to get a dig out here, you gotta rip on that ball.
Ross's pass goes to Mandrick. Hudson. Able to find a spot.
Hudson finds a line.
Wilson can't get it.
Right now, if they can hold that block, Ogilvy needs to go down the line. They got Chapin, cross court. They got Chapin, the middle, digging out 5, and she hasn't been getting her hands on any balls yet.
Ogilvy tips it over the net. Mandrick got it though, so it's going to be Nielsen now. Goes off the block, but Jazzy puts it up. And it's just bumped over. And the Blues are going to get the point off that and take the third set. The score is 29-27.
Blues take the third set. Nice
Neville
score.
wishes she could have that one back, but
It's 2 sets to 1.
That was all led up there. They had a pretty good pass off of there. They ran the set they want. Ogilvy's been ripping on those 30s, and all of a sudden she tipped the ball, put them UT in a position where they could get a swing to win there. This match has been quite amazing so far.
All right, Gaels
Defense that's been played, swing wise, attacking wise, it's been a classic.
So I'm going to ask Sam a question about Queens volleyball, and if he gets the question right, he will win this awesome Mikasa sports bag. Are you ready, Sam? All right. Last year, the Queens women's volleyball team won the OUA championship for the first time in their program's history. Who did they defeat to win the title?
The Ottawa GGs.
Nice! Woo! Go Sam! All right, congratulations, you won this bag. Enjoy the rest of the game.
yeah. Not easily. Toronto's logo is a lot smaller than I expected. I just made it small so we could have more of the screen. But what do they want? Bigger?
Great rally between the two teams. Right now, UT is just defensing the Gaels to death. Gaels have remaining huge swings, which UT are throwing their bodies out on. Queens can't seem to find a solve UT's defense and trail 2-1 in this match and 1-0 in this fourth set.
But I can't. He sets 2-1 and then reset the score.
Call might have been going out of bounds. Unfortunately, Queen touched the ball. Down quickly 3-0 in this fourth set. Trailing 2-1 in the match.
Sider with the float serve. Wilson doesn't handle it. Ogilvy pops it up. And Katie Hegarty just rolls it over. Mandrick sets Hudson. Blocked.
Over.
And that's going to be 4 hits.
Yeah. Queens got a huge break there. That ball was a poorly passed ball, and they gave a free ball back to UT, but a great block by Katie Hegarty, or else it's all of a sudden 4-0. This game's getting out of hand.
And Queens is going to let Ogilvy serve right at Rossel. Mandrick. Jazzy quick in the middle. Wilson pops it up, sends it over. Now it's another hit in the middle, and that one's going to go long. That was Chapin that sent it along. And after losing the first 3 points, Gaels are now only down by 1. But it looks like Bishop got injured on that last play. So Hines going to come in. Not quite sure what happened there.
Looks like she got a knee to the ear or elbow to the ear. And something to the jaw too.
Wilson with a good job popping that one up. And Brett Haggerty goes through the block. Hudson now going down the line, popped up by Pajazzi. Hines gonna get a chance. Tries to go off tempo, catch Toronto off guard, but
that could have big implications later on in this set because all of a sudden Queens lost that opportunity for a double sub with the setter and backcourt player. And the way that they've haven't been able to score points with the setter in the front court, it could be huge.
And Toronto's able to send that one over. Now it's going to be Pajazzi setting Hine. And she launched into that one. Wilson, good job getting under that one. And a tip by Katie Haggerty is met by the Toronto block. And Toronto has reestablished that 3-point lead. Bishop still being attended to on the Queens bench. Chapin serves it, Ogilvy sends it up. Pajazzi backs that to Hine, who tips it deep. And Toronto's going to be able to send it over. Pajazzi now sets Brett Haggerty. Goes cross court. Hudson's going to get another chance. Ogilvy pops it up. Pajazzi sets Hine. Good rally here. Nielsen. Ogilvy sends it up. Pajazzi goes to
tight
Haggerty.
on the net.
It was a tight set, but she was able to tip it over. Pajazzi now pops it up. Wilson with the bump set to Hine. Goes off the block. Wilson pops it up. Ogilvy goes to Haggerty.
Wow, that was a tug line right there.
Wilson was just watching it, but John lucky there as that was not off the line by much. Katie Haggerty serves it to Rossel. It's going to be Nielsen, just rolling it over. Hine pops it up to Pajazzi in the middle. Neville just sends it over. Mandrick in the middle. And Rossel got her fingertips on it, but not enough to send the ball over the net.
Yeah, and Queens really struggled in the middle tonight. Not getting a lot blocking-wise, attack-wise. They've been stuffed a few times. They're working really hard out there, but they just aren't on top of their games.
Haggerty serves it to Rossel again, and it's going to be Hudson with the attack. Ogilvy just puts it way up there for Haggerty. She goes off the block, Pajazzi. Neville now, setting Hine. Tries to go deep.
That's a really tough shot for Hine to hit down the line. Ideally, there's less space, and she has let that ball drop. It's really important to try to take it across court. Shan Hopkins in now for the Gaels, LBC, second-year player.
And they serve it right to her. She's going to get a chance to attack now. Good job. It goes over, and now Neville gets a chance at it. Popped up by the Blues. Sider with the back row attack. Close to the net. Actually went over, so Toronto was able to play it. Thought she might have been reaching over there, but not quite.
Pop is going in there, looking for just a little bit bigger swing. Shan didn't play the first half semester. She was coming off some surgery, and it just gradually came in here the second semester, just getting to see her first action over the last couple of weeks. Idea being maybe it's a little bit higher reach against that big QT block. Brings the same sort of passing defense as Haggerty. The idea being just looking at something different at the net.
Too well. Sent up to the net. Mandrick sets Hudson. Pajazzi pops it up. Ogilvy now gets it. And it's going to be Katie Haggerty sending it over. Mandrick goes to Hudson. Queens blocks, able to pop it up. Queens pops it up again. But Toronto gets the point after that attack. Send out wide.
And UT is playing UT volleyball right now. Defense and ball control, and it's just allowing that a little bit more. As you can see, Gaels are getting some good swings, but what's happening is UT's just getting hands, getting bodies on that, and they're able to keep that ball in play and just wait for Queens to make an error or give them get a better set.
That attack goes long though. Queens trailing by 3. Sider has that one going off the side of her hands.
You see that nice hard flat serve by Hine, and really, it's hard to judge. It's not much above the tape, and she's collected another service ace in this set.
Sider doesn't really have a good pass there either. Hudson though, pretty good attack. And Ogilvy couldn't send it to Pajazzi.
Tackles off arms there for the Gaels. The point for Toronto leads 9-6.
Hendrick has did a really good job this game of just sending players through. If it's not working for a player, she just puts another one in. And with number 5, Troop Shake out there, wasn't working for Nielsen, so she just subbed another player in. That depth he talked about is coming through here. We don't have the starting setter out there right now either.
Sider goes off the Queens block, but Jazzy dives to get it, and Ogilvy's just going to send it over as a free ball. Hudson passes it up, and it's tipped. And Katie Haggerty couldn't quite get to it.
Great play by Toronto Sarah too, because that's the first time we've actually dumped the ball tonight, and you're not ready. Everything's been outside or back, and all of a sudden you throw a ball out there, and it finds its way down on the court.
Serves it deep. Just tipped over by Pajazzi. Hines sends it to Pajazzi. It's going to be Ogilvy. Tried to go cross court, had space, but hit it out wide. And the Blues have a 4-point lead. Gaels probably need to go on a run before this technical timeout. Beautiful float serve. Wilson though with a nice pass, and it's going to be Ogilvy in the middle. Goes right at Shannon Ross.
Unfortunately, that's the same play they ran at 27 in the last set. Ogilvy tipped that ball, but he really lets it fly. Being a former middle player too helps on those 53 swings.
Trainer also pops that up. Now it's Mandrick setting Sider, blocked. Queens hasn't had the greatest blocking game, but moving forward, it'll be interesting to see if they can get some more hands on it. Sider goes again. Popped up by Neville. And it's Hine from the back row. And it's sent over, and it's going to be Ogilvy. And the ball goes in. Ogilvy and Neville both there. Not sure whether it was going to go in or not.
Fortunately, she's going to hit that ball straight down. The setter caught that ball going up, went off her hands and out of bounds.
Mandrick serves it. Pajazzi just sends it over. Wilson now pops it up. Hines sends it up. It's going to be Ogilvy. Rolling it in. Pajazzi. Goes to Haggerty. Probably wasn't the best choice. And Toronto's going to get the point as Hines can't control that. Toronto now leads by 5. On Kelly Creekshank's first point. Pass up is good. But they're met by a block, so now it's going to be...
Oh, that's tight to the net. It's a really
net.
difficult ball.
Fight to the net, Pajazzi just sends it over. Creekshank again. Getting the kill for Toronto.
Toronto's been very patient this set. Very patient. Have played some great defense and have managed to split it up a little bit.
Gaels had a little bit of confusion before this serve. So Pajazzi just dumping the ball over to make sure that the confusion didn't extend into the hit.
Yeah, they're just changing up their serve-receive outlook right there. And actually what happened is the reason why you caught Toronto, you really refused, was that they were focusing so much on Ogilvy doing that step there. Everybody was focused on defending Ogilvy, and then all of a sudden she dumped that ball quickly, able to score.
Pajazzi, though, has the service there and gives the point back to Toronto. Toronto with a 6-point lead. Pajazzi sets Ogilvy.
That was off of Hudson's head and out of bounds. I caught her right off the jaw. Came sharp cross court.
Hudson did well to just shake that one off. Neville is actually slow this time on the serve.
Yep.
So it's going to be Ogilvy serving. And she puts it into the net.
That takes us to the fourth set technical timeout. Toronto leading Queens 16-10.
And that's really important when you're along the sidelines. She is to be paying attention to things like that. You know, Colleen Ogilvy might not have another chance to go around there. You know, you gotta be ready. And that was a little bit of error both on the Gaels side, both with the players and the coaching staff to recognize, yeah, Ogilvy's that next person. Let's make sure we have her up on the bench. 15-10, Neville did a little bit of a good job back there serving. All of a sudden, Ogilvy's got to go back there, sets one in, 16-10. Now, Queens is really, really in a big hole. reminder, the men's game is going to be tonight. Hopefully. It's 8 o'clock right now, so the men's game probably won't start till 9. So if you're looking at the men's game right now, think of that as 8 o'clock start. We got a match going on still here at the Arc between the Queens Gaels and Toronto University Blues.
Yeah, the men's game will start about 40 minutes after this one wraps up. And depending on how Queens does in this game, could be anywhere from 55 minutes to an hour to possibly longer, but Gaels were able to get that point, so it'll be Katie Haggerty back to serve. The third-year player from Aurora, Ontario, sends it deep. And it's going to be Hudson now with the attack. Popped up, sent over. And it goes off Neville's hands. Float serve.
Shannon Hopkins.
And the Blues have a 7-point lead. They're back to serve. Ogilvy with the pass to Jazzy. And Queens is going to have to give away the free ball. Rossell sends it up. And Rossell with the attack. But Queens is called on the net. So Toronto will get the point. And Bishop will come back into the game.
Yeah, talking earlier, Matt, how many kills the Gaels had, and apparently as this lead expands, maybe the Gaels spent a lot of energies that first 3 sets, you know, swinging, and finally the defense has allowed, UT's defense has allowed, you know, the Queens to tire up because they don't seem to have that gusto as before.
Jazzy was called over the net there. Queens disagreeing, and not quite so sure that she actually did go over the net there, but
Queens claim the ball was actually on their side, and Russell reached over and touched that ball.
either way, the Blues now have a 9-point lead. They set Bishop, and she puts it off the antenna. Queens is going to need a little bit of a miracle here to come back.
Yeah, UT's just really put this in cruise control. This serve, what they need to start, but they really have to look. Good thing is last weekend they were down big against Ryerson. They were down 23 to 15, and they managed to make it a 24-23 game. So it's going to take some of that, more of that right now. See where they go.
Goals just come in for Jazzy, but the Blues get that point. Queens trying desperately to get a point here. Walsh puts it up. It's just going to be Bishop rolling it deep.
That was a great tip by Russell. She saw that two-person block and just put it right where they were.
It's a good effort by Becky Wilson, but she couldn't quite get to it. And it looks like Toronto has just started to tire Queens out. They set Hopkins.
Hopkins on their side attack for the Gaels.
Sider couldn't really control that. So Queens will get that point. And it's Hopkins to serve for the Gaels. Beautiful float serve taken by Rossel. Mandrick sets Sider.
She finds that cross-court shot. She's been deadly with that shot tonight. That sharp cross-court 4-5 shot. She scored about 8 times in the last 2 sets. Nice little 50s. So nice little 33s to the middle, and she's been able to find the court.
And it's now Shannon Rossel trying to finish off the Gaels. Float serve is deep, and Hopkins can't control it.
Helping that Rossel ends up serving an ace, and she got them going in this match with her serve, and then just with her ace.
And with that, Toronto will be going to the OUA Final Four. The Gaels season has come to an end. Just a reminder, in about 40 minutes, we'll have men's OUA quarterfinal action. York Lions are taking on the Queens Gaels. We thank you for tuning in. Just a reminder, 40 minutes time, we'll have that second game for you. Just hit the screen. They turned it off, I guess. Thank you very much for your help. That was good. Well, at least I know these teams since they played 2 weeks ago.